Hello and welcome to the PM Show, your weekly roundup of the modelling world, of what's new and going on in the hobby. How are we doing this morning, gentlemen? All good?
Yep, fine, thanks.
Very well.
Been busy again.
Very, very busy, I must admit. Who says summer goes quiet?
Yeah.
Not us.
No, definitely not. Never good. Anyway, so got some nice stuff behind you. Finally, the Tempest has arrived.
It has, yeah, that's come in. That came in yesterday. So all the pre-orders will be fulfilled, who's paid, and we'll get one down to you. I'll bring one down so you can have a look. Peruse.
Very nice.
It.
So just to bring people up to speed, this is obviously the special hobby Tempest, but actually it's Edards.
It is.
Yes.
So it's an Edard, which is, we do have discussed, it's quite strange because they haven't released this kit.
No.
So it's come out before Edard have even released it, even though it's an Edard kit, which is a little bit weird. Doesn't happen that way. I can't think of another time that's happened before, where a rebox has happened before the original.
I think that's to do with the fire, though, isn't it? I think it's a bit.
Oh, is it?
I think it's a thank you to Special Hobby for opening out last year with the fire.
Right.
I think.
Nice touch if it was.
Yeah, it's got Special Hobbies resin in it, so.
Yeah.
It's the high-tech one, isn't it, with all the resin and all the gubbins. So, yeah, it looks all right, to be honest. I think, obviously, being an Edard kit should be
Very
quite
nice.
nice.
And to be honest, we've already done the review for the Tempest Mark V, which is the older version. So get your head around this. This is the Mark II, which is the newer version to the Mark V. It all gets a bit weird because one's got the inline engine, that one's got the radial. But it's an odd way they do it. But the actual kit that I've seen, the other Mark V, which I've actually got here, is a very nice kit. So that one should be, or hopefully, be just as good as well. So very nice. And again, being the high-tech version, has all the nice goodies with it as well. So it's got the photo etch, it's got the resin and all the nice bits in there. Nice markings as well, we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's just resin. I don't think you get photo etch.
Oh, isn't it?
No, I've not seen the photo.
There's no photo etch. It's just the resin.
Oh, right, okie dokie.
You get some nice little bits in there, and like I say, some nice schemes.
Nice.
Which I think are very similar to the 32nd boxing of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the same schemes. Well, again, should build up to be a nice looking replica of the Mark II.
Yes.
Which still, like you say, why is that a Mark II and
the old
not
one's Mark V? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. The old one's the Mark V, that's the Mark II.
We obviously need educating.
Definitely, because I've never understood that one.
It does seem bizarre, but yeah. So that's come in. Obviously, this is the new tooled Captain Rad.
Yeah.
Captain Craft Rad, should I say.
Yes.
Tamiya.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new figures, and that's the new one. So
Have we got that in the store yet? Is it not showing? Oh, there it is. Sorry, it's moved
it's
on.
in your arrivals.
There we go. Yeah.
Again, it's Tamiya in it, so.
Again, obviously, that superseded the old version of it, which they did, which has been around for decades.
I could say that's old. I think that's 70s, the original.
Mm.
And then the other, obviously, Dragon did one.
Yeah.
And Dragon did another version of it. But yeah, so this is the Tamiya one, which again I think will be. There's a bigger one. Esky did a 1/9 one, which Italy has released. But I don't think anybody else has done
Is
one.
that Action Man size?
Action Man size one.
Was that 1/6?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I don't think of anybody else who's done
Great
anything.
Wallaby do, not Great Wallaby.
I don't know. Might have done.
I'm thinking someone else did.
Yeah,
But I can't
they
think
might
who
have
it was.
done. I don't know. But anyway, this is obviously Tamiya's
Yes, latest
version.
release.
So I think that's quite nice. And then they've also brought this back out, which is the Sauber Mercedes.
Nice bit of kit, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't know if you get any upgrades for this, to be honest. I've not really looked.
So obviously we're assuming that, it says it's got the photo etch in it included.
Yeah. Cartograph decal. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, you've spotted it. Yeah, photo etch parts included, cartograph decals, and, a V8 twin turbo engine.
Yes, nice. So we're assuming, because obviously Tamiya don't have the licensing for Ferrari anymore, they've moved over to Mercedes.
Yeah, they've got Mercedes.
Which they've always done Mercedes, but it seems to be a lot of Mercedes products the last couple of years.
Yeah, so why aren't they doing the F1 cars?
Again, I put that down to sponsorship.
I agree. I think that'll be a sponsorship thing and not actually the cars.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably the car. I think that's purely going to be sponsorship. Ineos want too much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Or Petronas, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Formula One have got the rights for it all, then
Yeah, that's right. So somebody wants too much money, which is a shame, because again, it'd be really nice to see. Because funny enough, obviously a lot of you know, me and my other half are quite into our Formula One, and we were looking the other day at a certain website, and they're like £600 for a car that size, with obviously all done and all the bits and pieces. And you're thinking, God, I remember, like, obviously I've got a couple down now. I've got the Rebel one we did, which was the Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know, which actually is quite a nice car at the end of the day. And as I say, the old Ferrari ones Tamiya used to do, and all the Saubers and various bits and pieces, wasn't it? So
yeah, did loads, didn't they? Tamiya used to.
Fair though. Can you imagine building a modern day Mercedes with all those little stars and everything it has?
What, for the decals? Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, the decals at the back end, that'd be a nightmare.
Or even the new Ferraris, where it goes from red to sort of like almost black, doesn't it, at the back end?
Yes.
And it's like fades through. It'd be a nightmare to do as well. Bit cool, but
at least in this modern day, most of them are like using now flat paint.
Yeah, true, yeah.
But then you've got to put those nice, where they still use sellotape to stick the panels down. So you need like a gloss strip between the panels.
Yeah, proper old school.
Yeah,
it is, definitely. But no, some interesting stuff, I must admit, nice stuff. And say Tamiya cars, if you've never built one, and their bikes, they're sort of legendary. They are very, very nice. They just go together, and there's usually some screws and various technical bits to do, which I'm a big fan of. So they're very, very nice kits. And again, fully detailed engines, like we were saying with the twin turbo.
Just to think, is there any sponsors missing off that? Because it looks a bit bare. Especially
probably. It does look like there should be something on the bonnet, at least. Somebody who paid for that bit of real estate. And actually, is it me? Because obviously I've got a different picture here to you guys, but it looks like that bonnet has been put on afterwards in Photoshop or something. Because just the way it looks like it's been overpainted, like there was a sponsor there and they've decided to get rid of it. So instead of redoing it all, they've just put a grey bit on the bonnet.
Yeah, you'd have to look at because this is probably, like I say, the original box art bin. Like you say, so they could have. I don't know. There must have been some on the bonnet, because that's the biggest, flattest part.
Absolutely, yeah. You thought like you'd have paid mega for that.
It's not thingy on these, but obviously the side of the doors, and it does look like this. We'll have to go back.
Go back in history and find the original one.
But yeah, I would say there's definitely.
But it's a different grey on that bonnet. I reckon they photoshopped a grey bonnet.
Yeah, you're right. They've like shaded it.
Yeah.
Here in the top of the door.
Yeah.
On the top of the back wing.
Yes, I reckon that's what they've done there. They've redone it to get rid of the sponsor, who probably didn't want to, obviously wanted too much money. But
do you know what I was thinking? Because obviously we've had the new like McLaren in, and there's that other one that's coming out in there, which is the Lotus, which is the camel Lotus, isn't it, coming out?
Yeah.
Obviously, it takes something away when it's not got its real sponsors on it.
Yes.
And I know obviously the McLaren's got Marlboro on it, the cigarette sponsors, which is all frowned upon now, so you can't advertise it. But again, it's of an era when it was advertised, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what
I used to say. The John Player special cars, being black and gold, or the black and silver ones, and they did them. They were the most striking cars on the circuit.
Yeah.
You know, they were the best looking ones, gloss black with the gold or the silver, and it just absolutely, out of my childhood, that's what I remember most out of any Formula One car. If you said, like, what is it? Is it the JPS one? Because it just was striking.
You know, the bright camel yellow Lotus.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But it's part of the sport's history, though, isn't it? So I can't see why.
Well, they just airbrush it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
To be honest, Jimmy Savile was quite a large part of my childhood, but you sort of airbrush him out now, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's a bit different, isn't it?
There's things you want to get rid of, isn't it, in history? And so it's a bit like, somebody fix it. Bob the Builder now, so if you want somebody to fix it, you call Bob the Builder. Definitely not somebody else.
He'll be next.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be the cat complaining. Anyway, so anyway, that's those ones. What else have we had in new? Anything else exciting?
I don't know, going to new arrivals.
Quick, go to new arrival. Get us off of this thing. Oh, the truck.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
the
ICM truck?
All free.
Yes.
So if you're into your British trucks, you can have all three of them.
So it's a box with all three. That's what we're actually getting at here. All three versions.
The description is actually a diorama, but I don't...
Yeah, well, it's a diorama when you just get the vehicles.
Yeah.
Or do you get a bit of grass?
Hey, it's a diorama of a scrapyard.
Yeah, I don't think
But again, interesting subjects, definitely.
Yeah.
It is, because obviously the front one, which is the Leyland Retriever, the later versions for that, I think if they don't do the Caravan one,
yeah,
they need shooting, if I'm honest, because that's the obvious one to do in it.
Yeah.
You know.
They bought the Leyland Retriever out separately.
And yeah, that came out first. That's an early version without the windscreen, which would have been really comfortable to drive.
Yeah.
Nice weather. You just got a bit
Spitting
of
flies out your
doors and no windscreen. And then the later ones coming out actually had a windscreen, but none of them had doors. I think they just had a bit of canvas. You just roll. I don't think they probably bothered, to be honest. But obviously they did a wrecker as well.
Yes.
Which is quite a cool version of that, and obviously there's old Monty's Caravan version, the Caravan one, which I presume they're going to have to do it. You know, I hope they do, because that would be quite nice. Because they're known for putting interiors in as well, so we'll know if Monty had a toilet.
Yeah, well, that will answer that old question. Did he go out and pee in a bucket, or did he, have a toilet?
Yeah, did own ensuite.
Definitely.
It seems like an expensive kit, but when you get like all three together...
Yeah, three. That's right.
Yeah.
Because again, when you first... Also, it's a little bit... As I say, I think they should make a little bit more of the box art by pointing out you get all three, because that looks maybe you could do 3 versions of or anything else. It doesn't actually explain it very well that you do get all 3 vehicles. Apart from when you look at the price, you think it must be for that price. But yeah, you do get all 3.
Yeah.
And they're 3 different vehicles.
Yeah.
As well, which is not pointed out very well, because there's a Watt 6, a Watt 8, and obviously the Retriever. So, I do like my British Sofkin World War II trucks. I'm glad to see them, to be honest. Obviously, I built this Bedford behind me, a couple of Bedfords now. So I built the IBG Bedford. Yes. But I'll wait for the later version of the Retriever. I won't mind having a blast at that at some point. It'd be quite cool. Nice. And an ICM kit as well, armour kit. They do look nice.
It's a great thing with ICM. They do bring out some really interesting subjects, including a wheelbarrow, or as they call it, a torpedo carrier.
Oh, the torpedo.
Yeah, that is the torpedo on a wheelbarrow. It looks like
torpedo. No, it's got on the Ju-88.
All right.
Yeah. Like say on a wheelbarrow.
It looks like it's on a wheelbarrow.
To me, though, they've definitely been trumped again by Mini Art.
Yeah.
Sheep.
Yeah.
They're bringing out sheep. So red pigeons, we're on to sheep now.
Yeah, we're going to go through the entire wildlife series.
Can have a flock of sheep.
Yeah, it'd be pheasants next.
Is it Mini Auto did the toilet, or was ICM?
No, ICM did the toilet.
ICM done the toilet, yeah. They are literally in competition with each other, aren't they? Who can do the weirdest thing? Yeah. Right, they've done a toilet, we're going to do this. So, but yes, definitely some interesting things from them. Coming down.
So obviously there's the
Pippa's back in.
Back in stock, yeah.
The Pippa's back.
Classic. That's all you can really say for that kit. It is an ultimate classic, and it's a bargain really at 33 quid.
It is. Last time I had that in, it was like quick enough. It's really popular.
Yes,
a lot more popular than I thought it was going to be. I don't know if that was because Clarkson bombing round Vietnam in one.
Yeah.
So it's for their program or what? But it all seemed to. Yeah, it seems so well. Obviously, we had the 60s group build. I think it when that first started, wasn't it? But definitely different.
We had some nice builds of Odin.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Some nice dioramas with those, didn't we?
Yeah, really, really good. Very nice. Let's have a look. Obviously, we're seeing them on Friday, didn't we? So obviously,
so we got the Panzer 3s.
Yeah, Panzer 3 with that interior and some other stuff. So that's about it.
I see all the Gigants have gone then. They didn't hang around long.
They didn't.
No, they didn't. No, they sold really well. And the SU-35s, the big one.
Yeah.
That's been pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Great Wall Hobby stuff we've had in actually is sold really well. As it does.
That reminds me.
So you can go on to that if you want. Have a quick flick through what we've got.
What? Great Wall?
Yeah. For those who didn't see Friday's show, there we go.
Excuse me. So yes, so a quick run through, really nice. And we'd say if you haven't built any of the Great Walls F-15s, they're very nice. Bang up to date. They did have some problems like we've spoken about before with some of their early ones, but they've all been fixed now and all the rest of it, which is quite good of them.
Yeah.
But say all the MiGs are going quick. But say we did have a very large restock of obviously Great Wall Hobby stuff coming in, but it is going out very, very quickly, as we can see. And yeah, some really very nice stuff down there as well. Their F14s are very nice as well.
Yep.
Going right the way through. So, oh, we've got the Vulcan back in. Didn't know that was back in.
Yeah, Vulcan's back in and the Victor tanker.
Yep, nice, very nice.
So, yeah, some good stuff.
So very nice, definitely.
And also
good stuff down here.
Also to keep an eye out, if it's here before Friday, which we'll have a chat about Friday, is Academy.
Yes.
An Academy order yesterday for some stuff that we've not seen for a long time. So
yeah, well, we've been saying, haven't we, really since Christmas, where is Academy? Because it's just dried up, didn't it?
It's sporadic at best, shall we say. But yeah, we've got some Academy coming back in as well. So we'll talk about that. Hopefully it will be here before Friday. We can have a chat. It'll be up. So show you that. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then
go on. I was going to say, do you want to have a look at the pre-orders, where we are with those?
Yeah, can do.
Yep.
That F15, which is the second one, that's...
What, the F14?
F14, sorry, I can't believe how well that's gone.
Yes.
It's, yeah. We need to contact our supplier to make sure he's going to get enough into the country.
Yeah, well, again, I think we'll shut it at the end of the week. We'll close that because it's been running a couple of weeks. We'll close that so we can get our orders in that, the F14 and the MiG-31s.
Yeah.
So the MK stuff, basically, we're going to shut down so we can bang our order in for that to come in later in the year. I think that'll do Octoberish, I think, from what
I did
I
put
was
in
told.
it, so yeah.
But yeah, different boxing, better boxing than the original.
Oh, a lot better. Yeah, absolutely. So, but again, what we said the other day, we don't go over it again, but for the price, it's a bargain. Absolute bargain on that one.
The SU-27 is going to be a new release from Great Wall.
Yeah. Nice. 48
So they've
scale.
done the two-seat. They've done the two-seat version. This is a single seat. So it'll be interesting how that stacks up against the competition. But obviously with their weapons system and how they hold their weapons, that's going to be quite nice, I would have said.
Be a nice, yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
Again, it seems to be that Great Wall, you know, if you look at their F-15 family, the MiG family, now the Flanker family and all the rest of it, they tend to be the one you're going to go to if you're on to that budget level and all the rest of it, because again, they're just really, really nice kits, go together very well. And again, the weapon systems being one-piece molded and all the rest of it, it's like, yeah, legendary. But very nice kits indeed.
Yes, if you're interested, put your name down on there if you like one of those. We've got a couple of the others still running. Like
Got to grab them.
Yeah, we had to close that one because we was on a limited time scale to get them in, so we get the orders. So I think they're probably going to be closed.
Yeah, we just got the Valum for the Commander.
A couple orders for that. Everyone wants the A version.
Yeah. Well, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Phil wants the
blue version.
No, he doesn't. He's fine. Doesn't need it. He's all right, thanks.
Desperation.
There's that AMK with the extra bits.
Yes.
For the Foxhound.
Yeah, two of them. There's the BM and the BSM.
That's closed. That's the BSM, the other type of it. I think the rest of them are all closed now, aren't they?
Yeah.
What have we got here? Oh, it's the VMAX for the Lotus. That's the if anybody's got massively deep pockets, we can get it.
That will be detailed.
And say it's 1/12, where we originally thought it was
1/24.
Yeah,
or 1/25, whatever.
So it's a big one.
Yes,
it's
it's
a
huge lump.
I reckon, because that's their first big F1 car, isn't it?
Yes.
So
but definitely be interesting to see VMAX. It looks lovely in the pictures, doesn't it, with all the detail in there? So,
yeah.
And obviously, if you're a Senna fan, it's going to be a must, isn't it?
Yes.
So very, very nice indeed. Good kit.
I bet there'll be some upgrade sets for that as well. So
I assure you at that scale, you're going to get various things come through. I think that's it, isn't it? We're all done.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's it.
Oh, Trumpeter Hind. We don't know when that's due in, do we? I know a lot of people are talking about it.
Soon, actually. I think that's due sooner than we think. I thought it was later on in the year, but I don't think it is. I think we'll see it by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Sooner.
So we might need to close that soon then.
Yeah, so then if you want, now that's going to be interesting to have a look at and comparing it to the Zvezda one.
Yes, to be honest, I can't wait to get my hands on that one because I was very critical, shall we say, of the Zvezda one. So it would be interesting to see what Trumpy have done with it. I've heard various rumours and seen, but like everything, I like to physically hold it in my hand before I pass judgment on it. So it will be interesting to see how that one stacks up. to it, and obviously with price points and things like that. But again, the aftermarket guys will be right the way over it. It seems to be the thing at the moment. From all my DCS friends, are you enjoying the Hind as well? Because that's just got released on DCS as well.
Right. I think, with it being Trumpeter, I think it'll be worth the extra money in the probably detail that'll be in it.
Yeah.
To the Svezda one.
Yes.
But then at least you've got a choice. You pay money to take the choice, because obviously
absolutely, that's the thing.
Version of it, and it's still. I mean, accuracy-wise, I'd hazard a guess. The Zvezda one's probably more accurate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's that famous. It's that famous twist of the fuselage, isn't it? Whether or not
the offset,
they get that right or not.
Yeah. Did most one was?
It's 7 degrees off, isn't it, on the rotor mast?
Hey, so, now we're getting rivet counter packing. Stop.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Actually, because it's only because I know the old MI8. I'm into that, you see. So it's the same thing as an MI8, just sleek version.
Apparently, it doesn't sit. It's not supposed to sit straight on the undercarriage, is it?
No, it all cantilevers slightly.
Even on the undercarriage, it's supposed to look like it's.
It's a bit like when it hovers. Most helicopters hover up and down a little bit. I think the Black Hawk is something like 7 degrees or something in the pitch as it hovers, and it's quite noticeable. This thing apparently is right in the piss. It's literally hangs over to one side and back when it's hovering, because the rotor mast is offset slightly to one direction. It's for better stability and all the rest of it. So it's like quite in clever design how they do things to shift it right over.
So how's that stable if it's not hovering square?
It's just the way it works, and also it's better at speed. That's why the Hind's really fast. It's something to do with having it the way blades travel and all this. It's all complicated stuff. So I still can't get my head around the way helicopters work, that it moves the blade 90 degrees before it's at that place, and it's like, I don't get it. And how rotor blades also, they lag and move as they're spinning round. Like, to me, that's like mythical stuff. That's clever people. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
That's physics.
That's it. They're the ones who paid attention at school.
Yeah, especially science class, which I didn't. I hated science.
But yeah, no, it is very, very clever, all these different things. But yes, very nice. But again, I'd be really interested to see that one come out. And I've built 72nd, 48th, and obviously the big 35th one as well. And as I say, 48's always had that little, you've got the old monogram one, which is horrible. But as I say, Zvezda's one dropped, which I thought was going to be the ultimate, being Russian company, Russian helicopter, was left very disappointed. So it'd be interesting to see what this one comes along at, because obviously they have got all the data from the big one. So
yeah, I'm
just hoping they haven't shrunk it. They've just turned around and gone, we'll just shrink it down, and take all the data we had, because we know it's wrong. There's lots of things that are wrong with the big one. So hopefully they have learnt a little lesson through that one, though. But it's nice to get another one back in.
We'll see, won't we? We'll see when it gets released. We'll hold judgment until we've got one.
Cool. Right. Shall we have a look at some questions this week?
Yep.
Okay, so Paul says, "Hi gents, hope you're all keeping well, enjoying the hot weather. Lovely here today, I have to say. Could you give us an update on the HK Lancs? If possible. I appreciate it's in the lap of the gods for when these are coming out, but I would love be good to know how many you've had and how many are left to come."
Well, we've got 10% of our pre-order.
Basically. Yeah, we literally got 10%. We were told you're going to get 10%, and that's what we got.
Yeah. Then we got a few extra from somewhere else.
That's it.
But we're still outstanding 50 odd kits, 55 kits.
Yeah.
A few more, something like that. So yeah, I'm hoping we see them soon, because to be honest, when we was told, well, it's going to be a few weeks, we're beyond a few weeks.
We're a month.
And we've still not seen them.
Yeah.
But we're as much in the dark as you are, to be honest, because we're just relying on said supplier for when they get their stocks in. And then again, usual thing, it's like broken record, this show, isn't it, really? But, they've got to rely on couriers and shipping and whatever else, usual stuff we keep going over. So
and it does seem to be, like we do say, because obviously we deal with importers and distributors and all the rest of it. And it's funny because obviously we talk to all of them and they all have the same story, because it's true almost. It's not like one's just fudging it, that made a bad order, or
Yeah.
they've, you know,
Yeah.
something's gone wrong, like their department. But they all say the same thing, because one of our importers the other day, didn't it, had a 40-foot container full of it come in,
Yeah.
and it's like tons of it. So it's now like feast at the moment because it's all there, and then you get other companies that are literally waiting for containers to come through, and obviously they're scratching, literally nothing to do until it turns up. So
When Phil says full of it, but there was no, obviously not Lancasters.
No, different company, different company.
That's completely different company anyway. So yes,
different place, but yeah, it was a massive drop that they had. So yeah, which is good. It's nice.
It is. Well, it's nice when stuff comes through.
Yeah.
Okay, so in short, we don't know. Honestly, as we said before, if you get an option, you can get them elsewhere and things like that, and you want to pull out, let us know, because then we can cancel our orders, obviously, and various things. So don't wait till the invoice comes through and then decide you'd actually got one from somewhere else or whatever, because, let us know. Tony says, hi guys, first, many thanks for maintaining your excellent service. That must be Sam. Thanks to Sam, who's been helping out up at the store, by the way. Even when you're shipping high numbers of orders at this time, it's appreciated. It is. So that's it. Are we paying Sam in what, McDonald's, or is he at cash, or is he getting paid in sanding sticks?
Well, yeah, because he's going to need them.
He'll need them at university. So Sam is Andy's lad, who's been up a couple of times helping us out as well. So
yeah, because he's finished school now and he's waiting to go to university in September.
Yes.
So we're making the most of him.
So we're getting the use out of him whilst we can.
Yeah,
he's been a top employee, to be honest. Been a good
He's going to replace Andy in theory, because he's younger, fitter, he's better with IT. So actually, we're going to Andy's off to university. We're going to keep him. Going to keep Sam.
I don't think I'd manage 5 years of university.
Oh wow. I won't learn much, but
no, that's it. Anyway, secondly, what happened to armour kits at the moment? There seems to be had a slowed and is PM turning more to related products. Can't remember the last time we saw an armour review or a build. It's not a rant or just an observation.
We were a bit confused about this because when, like Matt said, we've just had a restock of armour hobbies, so we've got loads of it in, but then realised it wasn't.
Armour, not armour.
Yeah.
It's just our stuff being released. Obviously, we've got some Ryefield in, and the Ketten Rad's come in.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a bit slow on the armour front, full stop, to be honest. And I think it's slow with original releases as well. There's a lot of reboxing of different versions of reboxing of stuff that's out. But nothing, like I say, for actual new tooled stuff. It's been a bit dry, I reckon.
But for us as a company, I mean, like if you could see the warehouse, half of it's armour, isn't it?
We do stock a lot of armour.
Yeah, we've got tons of armour in. It's just for new release wise, but then again, like we said before, you do tend to get, I don't know if it's almost like fashion. That some teams it seems to be all armour. That's all we've got. New releases, it all tends to be armour and vehicles, and other times it's all sort of aircraft or it's sci-fi or various things.
Yeah, if you look in the new releases, we've got the Cat and Crab, the Panzer III, Flory Models, the
Panther F,
Panther F.
We've also got the Fireflies back in as well.
And Rifle Fireflies are back in, and we've got the ICM trucks.
Yeah.
So there is stuff coming
Obviously,
in.
the little 7-second stuff that's coming as well from Bespid.
Yes.
If you're into the smaller stuff. So it is there, but again, for new release wise, it's a little bit slow at the moment.
But again, I mean, like we do the pre-orders, but generally the aircraft pre-order wise go a lot better than the
armour.
Armour we might do 3, 4, 5 kits, whereas aircraft we're doing 50
plus,
50 kits.
It's all relevant, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, it's still majority aircraft that sell over armour and everything.
Yeah, that's it. I think you're always going to get that majority if you look at stuff on the Flory Models site. Obviously, aircraft is probably 3 to 1. Over it. My builds, obviously, if talking about builds wise, the last one I did was obviously the MRAP, which was a huge build. That was a big 15-parter we did on that particular one, and again working its way through. And I will go back from a build point of view. We'll do some armour as we make our way through, so that's not a problem. Watch this space.
My next
might be very soon, to be honest.
For the African group build, my next one's going to be armour of some sort. Not sure what. It's going to be armour.
Don't know, go find something to build.
Well, to be honest, that's my Comrade Buller entry is going to be Russian. So
yeah, that's safe bet, in it.
Yeah,
you might be building a 148 Mi-24.
If it comes through by the end.
It comes through in time.
Yeah, that's it.
Idea.
I better not do another helicopter. I'll get done for it.
That's 3 in 1 year.
That'll be 3 helicopters in 1 year. Yeah, absolutely.
God, yeah. Pitchforks will be out.
People who don't know, there's the other one. She's here. She's coming along, which is the ICM's obviously latest release. So that one's coming along very nicely.
You see, I count a helicopter as armour.
I do as well. I weather them just like a tank.
Yeah,
it's kind of a flying tank,
yeah.
Especially stuff like that, you know what I mean? And a Mi-24 and an Apache and stuff, they're flying tanks, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And from a painting and weathering point of view, that's exactly how I do them.
Yeah, you know? Apaches, Hinds and things like that. They're
just,
armour.
they're brilliant.
Yeah, it's a flying gunship.
It is a flying gunship, yeah, absolutely.
Very nice. But it's a great kit. Go out and buy it. Or wait till the next version comes out, and then they'll do the S version and all the rest of it. So they're all coming, trust me. So Cobra family, it's going to be ITM of going to stitch this up.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
why not indeed?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Simon says, hi guys, do you know if it will be getting any 32nd scale Academy F4E Phantoms back in stock?
Right, go on, tell him.
It isn't an Academy kit, it's the old Revel kit, and you don't want it. You don't want it. Trust me, you don't want it.
To be honest, I built that kit as well. And I did they did a reconnaissance version, didn't they? The recce version.
The RF.
Yeah, the RF.
I had that one and sold it in an auction.
In German markings, didn't you?
Which was cool, except for it's all raised, and there's no way I could be bothered to rescribe it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. If you're going to get one, just stump up money, get the Tamiya one.
If you want a definitive one, I know they're a lot of money and all the rest of it. I don't know, is the E raised or recessed panel lines?
Recessed. It is recessed.
It is recessed.
It's
so
the RF.
I'm just checking because I built the E as well, and I just put in some resin seats into it. But I didn't bother with the cockpit and all the rest of it. To be honest, it was commissioned and it was all buttoned up. But again,
The little man's been sniped.
He's been shot.
Little 3D man, I'm going to take him out of shot. Never lay down at the back.
Yeah, have a snooze. But yeah, it is one of those things. By the time you've spent a little bit of money on that kit, i.e. put a cockpit into it, put some seats into it, probably going to use new nozzles as well, because the nozzles are a bit pants on it, you're not getting that far off of actually Tamiya's type pricing.
Yes.
And Tamiya you could build straight out of the box and have a lovely build with it, and it'll go together, and it's got a far more detail.
It isn't a new tooled kit,
no.
Thing one. Yeah,
I've not really looked what the price is compared to actually, because you could pick the Revel Phantoms up. Actually, 32nd was pretty cheap.
Yes, yeah.
You're looking at £100 for a Tamiya one, aren't you? There or thereabout.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Academy's pricing of that. I'll have to look into it and see why it compares to just a normal. I know the Revel one's not available at the minute. Again, it's gone, but you can still pick them up second hand, and they're not expensive.
No.
They're not, they've never been overly expensive, are they? So it'll be interesting. But yeah, it is the old Revel kit, innit?
Would you build the Revel one?
No.
Would you build the Revel?
To be honest with you, though, saying that,
no, I'll do Tamiya.
Yeah.
I would build the F4F
because it's anyone.
Because it's the only one, and it's good to the Luftwaffe one, or the Turkish, or the Greek one, where it's all the interesting
marketing for it. Yeah.
But for an E, I'd just buy the Tamiya. I'd get a Tamiya one.
Yeah. And like I was saying, though, if by the time you spent 25 quid on a cockpit, 20 quid on a set of nozzles, because they're all expensive as 32nd, there's not going to be much in it, So,
no, because the cockpit's poor.
Oh, the cockpit's non-existent, basically. Yeah.
It's really poor. Even if you just add in seats, 30-second seats. Well, what are they? They're probably 20.
They're not cheap.
Something like that for a couple of seats. So it's going to add up pretty quick. So yeah, I don't know. You pay money, you take the choice, don't you?
Yeah,
it is definitely. Gary says, hi team, just to say that his Desert Babe arrived today. Thank you for the excellent service.
And that was 7 days ago.
There you go, and that was 7 days ago. That I don't think we need to talk about, do we? Because Brett was answering somebody else's question.
Who was that one?
Okay, Jordan says, hi guys, do you know if this boxing of the special hobby 148 scale Maryland is currently available? And do you know if it's a good kit? I think I might be the only one available of it. Do you know what? I've never seen one of them before.
Right, I'll give you a history lesson.
Go on then.
It's classic Airframes kit, original moulds.
Yeah.
That boxing is now discontinued because I had a look yesterday. There is a boxing, but it's the French one that's out. And I think that's just because people still got them in stock. I don't know if it's actually in Special Hobbies catalogue. Excuse me. And actually building a classic Airframes kit, I built the the Blenheim, Mark 1 Blenheim a few years ago.
Looks nice. Now you've done
it looks nice, but they're an handful.
Yeah.
They are a bit of an handful, but
then
but that's it. That is literally it. Nobody else does, as far as I know, a 48 Maryland. So, but that's only just gone out of the catalogue, so I bet you can pick it up from somewhere. Somebody will have it. It's not an hard to get kit, I don't think.
Because he says here he'd like to at some point to do the Adrian Warburton's aircraft supplied in this boxing, which was operated during the Malta campaign.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting looking aeroplane, isn't it?
It looks like a bit of a hybrid of everything there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's sort of got both forked wings with that thing you built, Matt's body with an extra bit on the nose and some its tail.
The nose looks like something from a French bomber.
Yes, looks like the French have modded it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a very popular aircraft in its time. I don't know, but again, that's the thing with classic Airframes. At the time when they was out, they were doing some really interesting subjects.
They did. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really interesting. They did a Defiant in 48, and obviously the Maryland, the Hudson in 48. We've had the Gannet that you've had off me in 48, and God knows, the Blenheim Mark 1, which I did.
Yeah.
The Blenheim Mark 4, the long nose Blenheim, which I still think Airfix should bring out, because that's the cool one. I remember as a kid with the 3 French markings on the box. But yeah, they did a load of other stuff as well. I can't think off the top of my head. Vampires, they didn't they? Did the Vampires and Venoms as well?
I think you're right. Yeah.
They did a lot.
They did some really good stuff.
Yeah, odd, not easy to build at all. Because you always it's a multimedia, because you got resin and obviously the
stuff. Yeah, it's that limited run kit type thing going with it.
Yeah, it was. But you had to take your time, and they do build up into actually quite decent looking kits. And some of the subjects nobody else has tackled. I don't know if I read somewhere the company was dormant, but they've kind of, I know Special Hobbies re-released a few of their kits, and I know Hannants have done a few of their own, haven't they? Because they did the Gannet as well, didn't they? And a few others. If you look on Hannants at Classic Airframes, there's still a few, but it's exclusive to Hannants.
Right.
So they've obviously, paid something to get them moulded and stuff. But you never built a Classic Airframes kit?
Not that I can think of.
I'm surprised.
I don't know.
I am actually surprised you've not tackled a Classic Airframes kit in your time.
I might have done it as a rebox to somebody else and not noticed.
No, you'd know. I mean, they did the Anson as well, the Avro Anson in 48.
Yeah.
And the list probably goes on and on and on. But yeah, I'm surprised at that you've never done one in your time of commissions and everything. I thought somebody would have said, "Can you build this?"
No, they were nice people.
Obviously, too nice.
Definitely. Or I've just passed. Passed. Yeah. Okay, Lee says, hello team, not a question but a thank you that his 1/4 scale shuttle arrived safe today. Matt and Andy did such a good job on the packaging that even the Revel box remained intact. My God, that's a miracle.
I don't know about them boxes if I mean, I packed them as well as I could pack them for the massive flimsy Revel boxes.
They are terrible.
How that's got there without being flattened down. Well, hey,
miracles do happen.
Obviously, I was expecting the pressure of it's turned up and
they just clapped under their own under gravity, don't they? So
you've
been chucked around on the back of a van.
Because that is a huge
They are big.
Both of them are,
Because I remember, obviously, my one, the 72nd one I did, that was in those rubbish boxes as well.
Yeah.
It literally is. Well, luckily for that one, though, it is a top opener, but it's still really, really thin. Because I remember it being in the stash, being flattened, it had nothing really on top of it.
Our printer paper's thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'll tell you what's worse, actually, though. I'm going to,
Oh, hold on. Hold on. You've stopped, literally. Hold on, we'll all do it. Hold on, you're going to have to say all of that again. You just froze solidly. Yeah, you did. I was doing this. I'm going to leave this in the edit. It was quite funny. You can watch that back. And there you go. Around about 38 minutes, watch it back.
Yeah, that went all a bit. Ooh.
You did.
Dragon 5.
The Saturn 5 Dragon box is a far worse box than the Rebel ones, like I've said, especially for shipping for people and stuff, because they were just awfully thin.
And the silly thing is, though, if you look at Revell, when I did that awful reboxing of the Saturn 5, the big one, that was a really good box because it actually doubled up as a transport case.
Yeah.
So why is it some of it they go overboard and make a transport box out of it, and then others they're just like paper, as you say, it's like 80 GSM paper.
It's costing, isn't it? Obviously the costing and stuff. But you'd think obviously the size of the kit, or the size of the box to put the kit in, you'd think, well, I think perhaps we need something a little bit sturdier. Because like you say, you couldn't stack them up on top of one another. You couldn't have 3 or 4 stacked because the bottom one would just pancake under the weight of the other ones.
It'd be interesting to see how the guys who had 2 of, 72nd and a 48th, what a 1141.
They were well
They're
packaged.
right. I know they were. I know, but with that
they were in sturdy boxes.
That was it. Excellent packaging.
It is that dread of when they came in. Oh god.
Yeah. How are you going to get them out? Yeah.
Well, it's still the size of them. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things. We'll go on to it in a bit. We're doing an auction, but there's certain things that Phil took photos of for next week that we've not put up because we can't ship them out.
I did wonder why they were missing. I won't say what they are, but now that makes sense. Yeah.
We've got to get boxes to fit them. So.
No. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, he also says, just needs to decipher the colour callouts. Rebel seem to be like a mixing in percentages. They do like mixing in percentages because they don't do the colours. Don't forget, I've done the build, watch mine back, it's the same colours, so you can pitch, obviously I use that funny colour for the tank, and the rest of it is shades of white and various things, so it's pretty straightforward, luckily. But yes, good old Rebel, they still like it. At least on their aircraft now, they usually have the FS numbers or the RLM numbers and stuff like that as well, and going that way. Okay, Tony says, question on Canopy glue. He's about to start the 32nd HE111, which he's had for a while. He's been watching my build that I did, which was many years back now. In fact, I can't remember how many, but it would have been probably 5 or 6. Might be actually more than that, just thinking about it.
Longer than that.
Is it maybe 7 or 8 years now? When you used the new line of AK acrylics, it was their Air Series acrylics I used on it.
Was it?
Oh, did you really? Right.
Yeah. Wow. Very much old days. Okay, which they've now discontinued, I think, haven't they?
Yeah. Oh, they are doing.
Well, they are doing, yeah. So which glue would you recommend? In the past, we was using the Revel one for clear parts. Was I? I thought I used sort of PVA glue on that, but I don't know. Microscope Clear, which Phil used, to put the product on. And he's talking about one from Google called Pacer Zap PT56. Formula 560. Well, apparently it's the world's best canopy glue.
Hey, that rolls off the tongue, doesn't
it? So it states on the bottle.
Hey, any advice? How big's the bottle with the label on, but just to save the
to fit it all on, yeah. It's like a flag.
Who's it from, sorry?
Zap.
Pacer Zap.
Pacer Zap PT56 Formula 560.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a big statement to make, isn't it? Get on Amazon, get some ordered, and you can test it.
So this one here is the one that I did. To say it's all a lot of glass on the front there and stuff. So, but as to say, I can't remember what I sort of used on this one. I know, obviously, I used a lot of PVA glue because I did my usual trick of putting it in and doing round here. What I can say though is that for this particular one on the Cobra, it's a nightmare as well, because it literally has got this situation where it's very, very thin and flimsy and the contact points are non-existent. So being very careful, and you do have to be literally touch and let the capillary action go down. I've actually used a little bit of quickset, Tamiya quickset. So as long as it doesn't go on your clear part itself and stays where you want it to, it will track, and it is on here, and it's done the job very well, because to be honest, this is all just like a soft fit in here for these. But I had, as you'll probably noticed on the thing, lots of trouble with fitting this particular clear part on, because it doesn't actually fit properly. There's like a 1mm gap at the front, so it worked, and it is stable, and it's held it, and I have checked it because I've unmasked it to make sure I haven't made a complete cock up, and it does seem all to be holding okay and everything else. So as long as you've got quite a wide contact point, I think you can get away with using things like extra thins. But if you suddenly brush it onto the clear part itself, it's going to fog. So it depends if you want to take that risk with it. But the thing is I like about the quickset is because it dries so quickly, it doesn't tend to go off and hang around too long. It tends to just go there and dry. So that's quite a nice little feature with it. But if you're always a little bit worried about obviously doing, my photos are completely out of sync on this for some reason, about, you know, actually using them, then on one of these photos along here, hold on, you can see where I actually, there it is, we use PVA glue. So, you know, PVA glue for putting the parts in, at least if it squeezes through, if you get a little bit go off, worst case scenario, it's going to dry pretty much crystal clear, so it's not going to fog any of your parts. Worst case scenario, you can cut it with a blade, take it off, scrape off the PVA glue, and then try again and put it back in. And as you can see in there, you can also make up entire windows with it as well. So instead of messing around with these little thick windows, we just did it with crystal clear and put those in. So it is one of those things, if you're confident and you've got a little bit of work room, to be honest, they're quite large frames on these because of the door frames. I thought we could just put a little bit of glue in, let it track down there, and because it was perfect fit, it was just put the glue in and you could just see it work its way round, and then just left it, and we had no fogging on it at all, so that was quite nice. But I don't know, clear glue is still one of those mythical things, isn't it? Because people talk about watch glue, and I've got some in there as well, which is probably like that stuff you're talking about. The trouble with it is, you remember the old like Yoo-hoo glue? So you put a bit on and you pull away and you get a big string.
Yeah,
it does that. It's really messy, and if you do get it on your hands, or it's really, really messy stuff to use. So it'd be nice if somebody did something like an extra thin that dried crystal clear. You know, that literally just touch it, capillary action does the job, so that's the best join you can get, and then it just dries crystal clear. But unfortunately, weld action glues on clear parts, as we know, it will fog. You know, by its nature, it's changing the molecular of it, so coming together. But yeah, it's still, nobody as I've ever found does a really good one. You had that Japanese one, didn't you, Andy?
Yeah, that we don't know what it's called because
which
it's all
we can't
Japanese.
pronounce or say because it's all in Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah, I've messed around with it, but I've not actually tried it in anger yet. So
yeah, on something, and I can't think what it was and how long ago it was, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I think it was fine. I don't even know where mine is. It must be either here or at home somewhere. I think it's here in one of the drawers, but I've got no idea. You buy these things and it just gets squirreled away somewhere, and you forget what you've got.
But again, that's what I'm saying. He's heard this stuff is, and to be honest, every time I hear that magical word called zap, it worries me, because zap, I had their kicker once, and literally, because I use, as you know, got these different type ones here. Vital's really good, but if not, the Mitre one. And the great thing is you can squirt them onto your model, does nothing. It just might leave a little tide mark and they wipe away with water. But Zap Kicker, I remember spraying it on the bottom of an F16 and turned it white. And it buggered me paintwork, it buggered the decal, it was, not good.
Yeah.
So I'm very wary about anything from Zap's Kicker and stuff. So I'm hoping their glue, obviously for clear parts, is a lot better.
The super glues are right, aren't they? But
yeah, but the shelf life's short.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Still using this one. We're almost, what are we now, 7 months?
I don't know if we're well into it, aren't we?
Well into it. We bought a couple of balls, me and you had, wasn't it, at the beginning for testing, and this is still like the day it worked. It's still really thin, if you can see it in there, but this is really thin. But yeah, if I'd use that, that'd be like tar.
Yeah. I need to figure out where to get some of that sometime.
Oh yeah, you do. But yeah, no, it's good stuff actually. So magnet, isn't it? Yeah.
So this is the AK magnet glue. Highly, highly recommend it, because as I say, this is the only one I've ever had now that lasts more than a month. And I'd say that's got to be 6-7 months old, and it's been used, it's opened, it sits here under all the studio lights, probably going horrible, and it's really, really good stuff. It's
Razor.
Eraser.
Oh, the eraser or debonder.
Yeah.
They can't call it debonder. It's probably done by another company, so they've called it eraser.
Yeah.
CA eraser. Also says, Matt, when are you going to stock the Alex scrapers?
We don't need to. We've got the Trumpy ones that are far superior. Don't try them. They're very good.
Yes, they are. Okay, Robert says, hi team, I'm thinking of doing an SU-27 or a MiG-29 in 148 scale for the out of Africa build. Can you recommend a kit that would be best for ease of construction? He's got the Great Wall Hobbies SU-27, but he seems to remember you saying that the Hobby Boss kit was easier to build.
Probably.
Hobby Boss don't do a MiG-29 though, do they?
No, they don't. They don't do a MiG-29. The only MiG-29s is obviously the Great Wall Hobbies one and the old Academy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
In 48. 27s is the Hobby Boss one, a decent kit for the money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the one that Edard reboxed?
That was Academy's.
Is that Academy?
Yeah.
Academy, the 27, that's a long in the tooth.
Oh, I built that one. That's proper oldie school now. For MiG-27s, yeah, the Hobby Boss ones.
Yeah, if you want an easy
really nice. It depends. As I say, don't forget 48 scale. That's still a really large aircraft. For things like that in 48 scale, it's huge. But as I say, the MiG-29 family, to be honest, if I was to build one, even needed of use, the Great Wall Hobby ones are beautiful kits.
Yeah.
They're really good. They go together, no problem at all, and they're really good detail as well. So I think if I was going to build a MiG-29 tomorrow, I would go down Great Wall Hobbies route every time with that. SU-27, as I say, the only ones I've ever built is the old Academy one in 48th, which is, you wouldn't build that now. That's proper old in the tooth, but it was the only option.
Yeah.
But again, for that, say you take your choice. The Hobby Boss one, it's all right.
He's saying though he's already got a Great Wall Hobbies SU-27, so why?
Yeah, you've probably got the best detail in there.
Yeah, I'd say why buy another kit when you've already got one? I can see 29.
For me, the fussing around with the weapons, lobby ones, worth every time.
Cut off sprue, stick on model. You can't get much easier from them. They're brilliant.
Exactly. Spend a lot of time deckling.
Yeah. But I think Great Wall Hobbies, like we've said before, and it isn't just because obviously we flog them, got a load in there. I still think if I'm thinking about, F-15s or, MiG-29s, 27s, things like that, you go Great Wall Hobbies because they've just got really nice, good surface detail, good level of detail right the way through. Construction-wise, no real problem either, And you think other companies out there, and, obviously Kitty Hawk, their SU-35s and stuff, they had problems, didn't they, around the intake and gears and various wheel wells, wasn't it, and stuff. But again, the Great Wall Hobby ones were just generally good kits that went together really well. So
instructions, I think, wasn't it, with Kitty Hawk?
Well, Kitty Hawk would be instructions.
I've never actually seen their 27s. I know they're obviously now defunct, but you can still get them. But we've never actually had them in, because obviously we had the Hobby Boss in and the Great Wall Hobbies. So
I did the review of one of them, didn't I? Which one was that? Was that the 35, the new 35? That was a shame because that looked to be very nice, and from people who I messaged me about it, said it went together okay as well.
Yeah.
So
figured out
again, if you can get it. So
you can't. That went a long time, way before they went pop. That was been unavailable in 35. That seemed to have done that. When we all went mad. Well, you lot went mad for them during the React thing when it first came out a few years ago. Then it just.
I think I had the 35, and then the other one came out, didn't it? The Hobby Boss one.
No, Great Wall's the only one who does an SU-35, isn't it? So, the other one, I don't know. There's options out there, though, isn't there?
Yeah, you've got your options. That's the nice thing.
Too many kits.
But again, I would honestly, I think, for detail-wise as well, obviously the Great Wall Hobby ones are far better than the Hobby Boss ones.
Yeah, but they're more money.
For surface detail and all the rest of it, it's it's a far superior kit from that point of view. But if you just want something overall shape, perhaps nothing open or anything else like that, then obviously the Hobby Boss flankers, they do the family of them. They're straightforward builds, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott says, afternoon chaps, hope you're all doing well. I'm planning on starting the Revel 48 scale Baron Spirit Typhoon soonish. And before we all fall down the rabbit hole of paint, I thought I'd ask you guys what you recommend. Is this the bronze one?
No, it's a black and red one.
Oh, right, okay.
Is the Typhoon soonish a new model? Is this a limited edition?
Is this a Trench 5?
Yeah.
He says he would like to use AK. Oh my lord. Sorry. I would like to use AK as I'm liking them a lot, but open to suggestions, obviously from your stock. I don't know the colour scheme. Do we know the colour scheme?
I thought it was standard, whatever grey Luftwaffe used for
the one we can never agree on what it is?
Yeah, whatever grey that is. And then I thought it was just then black and red.
I've got no idea. You're wrong person to ask, really. Nathan would probably be a better person to ask on this. We'll ask Nathan, and
we'll get back to you on that one.
Because I have no idea, to be honest. Again, if you do, just do a little bit of research on what modern Luftwaffe German colours are, and then you can obviously cross-reference that to...
Because their grey's a bit more bluey than...
Yeah, it's more of a blue-grey, isn't it, than barley-grey.
Grey, whatever. And then don't forget, obviously, Attacker do the German colours as well.
Yeah.
I can see the colours at the bottom of the Attacker rack.
Yeah.
And I know one's basalt grey, but that's the darker one, and there's one next to it, and I can't think what it probably is. So I don't know from here. Anyway.
Okay, well, we'll get back to you onto that one.
Yeah.
Okay, Stuart says, hi, Phil, Matt and Andy. I saw an email from Hannance which mentioned an airbrush paint mask called One Man Army. I've never used these masks before and was interested in what you guys think about paint masks. Have you used them? Do you know about them in any of the brands would you recommend? Would this be something you consider reviewing on the site? So One Man Army, these are those, they make stenciled ones out of, like I did for the A10. So Ron did me the stencils for it, so none of those are markings, it's all stencil ones. They do that, but they only do 1/32 stuff, clearly, because you couldn't do that, I don't think, in 70-second. Even you got your best printer would struggle doing something that small. So at the moment I think they just do 30-second scale stuff, World War II. So it's a bit like, where you've got the standard sort of Spitfire markings. I think they do a lot of them is I don't know which ones exactly, but I do believe it was Spitfire, Hurricanes, things like that, markings for them, but it's all the stencil data. So the idea is that you peel it off, stick it on, spray it, and then unmask it, and you've got that genuine effect in there. So which seems to be a good idea, but if you don't do 30-second, I think you're a little bit sort of stuck. That's the only thing.
I think they look good, but it'd take you forever, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other problem you got, which was brought up to me by a member the other day, we were talking about markings, because he was asking me about this, basically the same type of question. And like I was saying to him, it's the nice thing about decals is you place them. So you can put them where you want them. The trouble is, if you've got masking tape and you're putting it down onto it, you've got to roughly work out where those panel lines all are, because most of us do that thing, is that you look at your instructions and you've got your instruction sheet for it, and you can see if there's a panel line next to it or if there's some riveting detail, and you can work it out, push it into that area, roll it down, have a look at it, that looks all good, and then move on. The trouble that you've got, if you're using masking tape and then you're putting it down over an area, you're sort of hoping you've got it in the right spot, and you've only got one chance at it, so you spray it, unmask it, and you hope it's in the right place. If it's a decal, you've got that thing of, you can look back at it and go, oh no, it needs to go a bit lower, a bit higher, a bit to the left, a bit to the right. So that's, I think, the biggest drawback with using spray-on ones. But no silvering, and you can weather it just like you'd do the aircraft, which is nice. So that's the plus side to using them. Downside is just putting them in the right spot, I think. So.
Yeah. Don't know. We'll have to get a couple in for have a look at, I reckon.
But I think again, it's one of those where I think, because I've done it before, we've done the entire aircraft. The A10 is a classic. We even did the mouth for it with all the teeth and everything, and that was all done with masks. And it is, by the time you've put it on and lined it all up and get it all perfect, and then you usually, like we had to do with that, a little bit of hand touch-ups as well, just to make sure they're all okay. I do think it'd be quicker just to decal it. Seal it, decal it, and then weather it afterwards. But it is a nice effect, because you can wear them down. Obviously the weathering will stick to it as well, and so forth and so on with it. So it's definitely one of those areas.
I was going to say, you can weather it with your paint as well, can't you?
Yes.
So, it's interesting. Like you've said, I think definitely works better with 30-second, the bigger stuff.
Yeah, I don't think they even do them anything 48th or 72nd anyway, so I think that's a little bit for it.
Get rondels and the usual bits and bobs, but yeah, so interesting.
It is. Okay, last question. James says, morning team, quick question. Any suggestions for a colour match? Oh, we had this the other day for the Royal Australian Air Force foliage green and dark earth without resorting to life colour?
Life colour.
Life colour. Because we've had this on another show, haven't we? We did say this on another show. Nobody else does it.
Nobody else does them. Nobody else does the colours, so you're going to have to just either make your own.
Yeah, you're either going to have to make your own mix and go from there, or you're going to go down life colour, because it does seem to be overlooked a little bit. I know they weren't used very long. It was obviously back into World War II, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You'd think... the only thing I can suggest is the attacker range is huge, and they do a lot of browns and a lot of greens. So if you perhaps did your research on their line of paint, you might find something that fits the bill.
There might be a Russian or a Polish or French
a
or
US,
something,
because there's loads of FS colours in there, or some I've never even heard of. But none of them go by the names you've put up. There is a few dark earths, I know that, but I don't know if, again, how accurate do you want to be? We're going down the rabbit hole of colours again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's down to you. To be honest, that's down to you, James, on how you want to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably the attacker range. I mean, to be honest with you, even in the real colour range, there's a lot of greens and browns. But I know more from looking at, like they say, the attacker range has got a lot more obscure colours, shall we say?
Yes.
So that might be the one to look in. But yeah, apart from that, no clue at all. I know, like you say, somebody's asked this before on one of the Friday shows or Thursdays, I can't remember when it was. Might be worth putting a thing up actually on the forum, because they might be able to say this is a decent match or compared to the life colour one.
Yeah.
Again, don't know.
Can I just say now we're on to this section here? On the auction bit, I've deleted some of the comments at the bottom because they're like, so I'm not really relevant to the auction. But then Dirk made a good point, and I've quoted Dirk's bit in my original post about VAT and postage charges to the EU. To be fair, if possible, we'd like to try and keep it to solely UK bidders.
Yes.
Because even though things have opened up to the EU, it still causes us problems. US, Australia postage is absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And it's out of our hands completely. Yeah, it really is. I mean, yeah, we just UK's.
Well, it's easy, but I mean, if people bid, then they've got to be aware of the, like the thing that Dirk did put up about the,
with the VAT
now and handling charges. You're gonna have to be aware of this now, because you're probably going to get stung for it. But you know, I think a lot of the kits have put up normal size boxes anyway. I don't think we've put anything massive up, which again we can probably get through the normal postal system, which does keep the cost down a bit. To be honest, it's not too bad as going through couriers. It's if you win multiple lots, that's when you've got to be aware. When we're going through couriers, that's where it gets a bit expensive. But hey, bidding's bidding, innit?
It is. So what we're actually talking about is our live auction, which is next Wednesday, the 30th at 7:30.
Live
with my special guest who'll be here.
I will. For social distancing, mask
Social
up.
distancing. He'll be on one camera, I'll be on the other.
Yeah, I'll be in a different room.
That's it. Behind the window. I'm going to do it by the window. So anyway, Matt's going to be down here with us. Andy will be at HQ.
Can I point out it's also my birthday on that day?
Oh, is it? Oh,
I did say he could have the night off, but no, he's insisting on working.
That's it.
He's got nothing better to do with his
I was going to say, what else is he going to do? But anyway, you can send cash or cake, we don't mind, to Andy. It would be much appreciated. You can do a Deliveroo to him.
Yeah. Get yourself a Deliveroo.
Just eat him. You'll have tons of pizza turn up. Right, anyway, so full details are on the actual forum as always. You can go and have a look right the way down through there, and these are a list of the lots that we've got coming up. Obviously, the ones with a nice background are extra view samples, because I took the photos of these. Yeah. And actually, here's a quick little tip for you. These are done in low resolution, so I took them off my phone, literally on the cut-in mat, and then obviously we talk about a lot on the Flory Model site about uploading photos. These are in the low mode, and look how good they turned out. So I thought, they haven't got to be good because it's just going on the forum. But this is in low, but they still turned out fine. But anyway, we've got other stuff as well. Some of these are the damaged boxes, which we've spoken about before. You can see the pictures of those as well. That's a classic now, a 50-year-old kit.
Cheers. It is, yeah.
But it's still the only 48 scale Dam Buster or Grand Slam Lancaster.
Yeah. It is out at the minute, yeah.
For the minute.
Even though the boxes are mullered, the contents
the contents is the usual thing, isn't it? The contents is fine, it's just to take to the box.
So again, if we run through, we've got some really nice stuff. Is that two the same? Oh no, different thing. Yeah. Right, okay. Very nice. Got the pattern. Got an F-35, slightly crushed and mullered. We got some good stuff as well. So we got some of the old F1s. There we go. Look.
Yeah, those boxes on those are pretty much still pristine, aren't they?
And that one's pretty got a decent box on it, which is the old accurate miniatures kit. You go racing
which is a really nice one. So
put your Lotus in.
Yeah, that's it. We've got Abrams.
Yeah.
So obviously this is the review one that I did for these two.
These are the review
samples. The Cara. There's the McLaren. We've got the Tomcat. We've got the Jackal. The Warrior.
Yeah.
God rest its soul.
Yeah.
72nd SU-35.
I don't think the Warrior will be going as quick as we think it is now.
Well, yeah, this is always the thing. They make these sweeping statements saying we're getting rid of it all, and then it'll be still going donkey shiz down the line.
Yeah.
Because nothing's replaced it yet. So anyway, Spitfire one. This is the Mark II, wasn't it? Apparently, this is the 1/82nd scale. Is this a different one? It's editing there.
1/82nd.
1/82nd scale. Apparently, I think that light's moving. It hasn't even got a 4 in it. I don't know how you've managed that.
It's a new scale from Edard.
Yeah, it's the brand new scale from Edard. Clearly.
That's no one's got messing me like that.
We've got the Refueler. Very nice. We've got the Viking. We've got the MiG-23. Is that one of yours, Andy?
That's one of mine, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can see your bench there, look.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So
we've got the Rafale.
There you go.
That's one of mine as well.
And he's parting with some of his stash, so it's worth, getting in.
That's it. They will all be pristine from his wardrobe.
Saving the best till last.
That's it. Oh, look, the Phantom. Very nice. So this is the Academy Phantom in there, people, if you're wondering.
But you get all the resin.
But you get all the nice bicentennial schemes and that in there.
A lot of decals, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of decals.
Let's put it this way, that's a collector's item, not a builder's item.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what's up now. There's going to be a few more added. I've got a few of my own that's going up. I'm going to go scoot around the shop.
Not everything's kits.
I've got the music all ready and queued up for this. So we've got our 10-second warning. They can't hear this, but we will afterwards. There we go. We've got our little countdown clock. I've got a countdown here as well. What we got? That's I will sort this out, honest, for when we do it. But I have got various countdown music and various things for this time. So we're all sorted.
So we'll just run through the kick-off time's going to be 7:30.
7:30? Yes. 30th, next Wednesday night.
For those who have fingered as well, I have checked and there is no football on. For those who've been following.
To be honest, that was question number one when we were doing, when are we going to do this? When's the football on? So no excuses.
Yeah. And just to remind you, can you message me with your pre-bids?
Yes.
And then I'll list all the pre-bids down and bid on your behalf.
Yes.
Up to your maximum, not from your maximum. So if you bid 50 quid for something, we start at £20.
Yeah.
That'll be your starting bid. Then I'll keep bidding up until your maximum, until it goes over your maximum, and
you win.
You win.
You know how it works. We've got enough time, so it's fun. It's entertainment. That's what it is, isn't it?
It is. As I say, if you're not bidding, don't worry about it. Join us for some giggles, because we're bound to have a laugh, because we always do. Grab yourself a beer or whatever your tipple is, and join us for an evening, a bit of fun, laughter, and we'd chuck in an auction on the side.
Yeah. For a while, I think it's Christmas, wasn't it, last time?
I think we did one Easter.
No? I think we did an Easter one, didn't we?
No, I don't think we did.
Did we? Oh, right.
I thought we didn't do one. I thought Christmas was last time we did. Because we did the shows over Easter, didn't we?
Yeah, no, we did. We did all the live stuff.
Shows, it's been a while. So, before, like I said, there's going to be a few more items added when I've done that. And,
keep an eye on the forum. You'll see all the latest stuff being added as we make our way through to next Wednesday.
All good. Right.
Good job. Right, we will call it there then, people. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, tomorrow night we've got an Airfix special. We've got Airfix having a nice interview and doing a presentation for us as well. So any questions that we have will probably roll over until the Friday show. So if you're planning on asking questions for tomorrow's show, they'll be rolled over to Friday afternoon shows. We do that one live as well. But we'll be live with Airfix from 7:30 across the social media airwaves and obviously on the Flory Models site. And then obviously we'll be back with the guys as well on Friday afternoon for the TFI Friday show to make our way to the weekend. Love job.
Any way people can ask specific questions for Airfix?
No, they don't like answering questions. Like, when's the Vulcan coming out?
Well, yeah.
Because that's the question everyone asks them, and you still get the same reply back when it's available. Yeah. But yes, but we'll sort something out. As I say, Pranjit's done us a full presentation with it as well about the development and that side of it from there. So we'll make it through with that one. But don't forget, you can ask questions live as well via the chat room, usual things like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay then, guys. Thank you very much. We will leave it there. Happy modelling. Take care. We'll see you all again very soon. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye.